something different in this video before I go on. I did increase the output of my microphone by about 4 decibels. So it shouldn't be that much louder, but I feel like it's going to be just a little bit clearer to where I want it to be. Anyhow, link down below as always to credit WWE for piecing this together just for me. Started off the show with a banger. As Sheamus would say, Rhea Ripley walked out of the elevator. But what was really cool about this situation, to kind of like nitpick about all the little details, is how she actually acknowledged the camera, waved at the camera, because normally it's like, you know, you just ignore it. It's like on a movie. You don't see Tom Cruise looking into the camera and going, watch this, bang, bang, right? Some movies do that sometimes. But anyways, I just thought it was really cool. That whole production thing, I think, is really neat. And then right from the elevator all the way to the ring, we got to see her. And again, I am just loving that so much. Remember, from here on forth, since last week, Rhea officially internally is booked as a babyface. And then Damian Priest was caught yeeting in Mexico. I believe it was at a house show. I don't think it was televised. And after the match with Jey Uso, he was getting down doing the wave thing. So I'm just telling you, with all those things going on and the dynamic of Damian Priest changing, always smiling, kind of picking on Dom, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be really something special. I'll talk about Damian Priest as a face and all that in just a moment. And her about being a heel and or a face in just a moment as well. I want to get through the rest of the show quickly. So she talked about how Liv was walking around with something of hers, and she wasn't referring to Dom. She was talking about the title that she never lost. Then Liv showed up on the screen talking about how she took everything from Rhea, and then Rhea states that at SummerSlam, she wants to face Rhea for the title. And then Liv says, you know what? I'm not hiding. Let's do it and make that official. So then backstage, Dom and Rhea were walking back to the locker room, and Rhea slammed the door on Dom, and Damian Priest showed up smiling, going, oh boy, one of those things. What was interesting about the Sheamus versus Bronson, which, by the way, Sheamus did defeat Big Bronson Reed, is after the match, Bronson Reed went to attack Sheamus, and Pete Dunne, as an ulterior motive, attacked Big Bronson Reed, but that's because he wanted to get to Sheamus first, as you could see there, and you could watch the clip again. He attacked him from behind. So it's like, why do that? Because ultimately, in the end, the reason why he turned his back on the Brawling Brutes, he was sick, he was injured. It's Ridge Holland that turned his back on Pete. It wasn't Sheamus. So this is kind of like a weird thing, because we never got to see retribution from Pete Dunne onto Ridge Holland. I closed my eyes so I could think better. Just as the same as we didn't see Giovanni Vinci taking on Ludwig Kaiserbund. We haven't seen any retribution, nothing. He's just disappeared. That's the part of the writing that I don't like. So this was just really, really off for me. It didn't really make much sense. And then he allowed Bronson to do the tsunami wave on him. So that's what happened right there. Okay. Backstage, Damian Priest and Rhea chat. He was glad to have her back. Rhea giving Dom a hard time, naturally, as always. Then we had Sammy and Ilya Dragunov chatting about how Sammy offered him the title, and it had nothing to do with him helping him the week before having his back. He said, you deserve this. I want the best, right? That's why I chose you. That's the kind of booking that I like. That's the face version of it. Whereas someone like Gunther in recent history, that was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, he didn't need Giovanni or Ludwig to do the dirty work for him. He would say, you don't deserve it, you don't deserve it, because I really think that he's one of the best heels in the business, better than Damian Priest, but that's not an insult. That's not an insult. I'll touch more on that a bit later. So basically, yeah, and Gunther's not afraid. Sammy's not afraid. This makes Sammy look really strong. He took out Braun Breaker. He's just like building up the character of Sami Zayn to even greater levels. And it's like, oh, wow, this guy really is a badass. And I am buying it. He's not beefy like a, he doesn't have like the Zack Ryder look or Cody Rhodes, but you don't need to. So anyhow, so this was good. And then they both said, you know what, you better bring the best out of you, blah, 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 blah. It was just great. Zelina, sorry. Sonya Deville defeats Zelina Vega, but there was some distraction, and I thought it was dumb too because, no offense, there's this weird thing where like Sonya Deville's finishing move, I forget what it is. It's like where you're in a lockup, and then you just kind of like turn and just drop your elbow while you're just throwing them to the ground. It doesn't look devastating. And she lost to that. Plus there was interference, and it's like, well, these ladies are supposed to be like really badass. I mean, you've got Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Trust me, they don't need any help, and neither does Sonya Deville. But I guess maybe she did. And I get it, heel thing, but then I go back to the Gunther thing again. He didn't need outside interference all the time. So for me, this was actually dumb, to be perfectly honest with you. Damian Priest backstage runs into Dom. Dom wants to know about why he wasn't warned that he knew Rhea was there. And he went off on Dom saying, you've been lying to me, telling me that you've been talking to her, things have been good, things haven't been good. Then Jay came out backstage with Damian Priest, and rather than the whole, like, where you would have seen Damian, like, turn on Jay and attack him, he was smiling with him. And again, this goes back to the thing I told you that just happened last week in Mexico, where they were eating together, and Damian again was just loving it because Jey Uso was asking Dom, is she single? And it was just kind of really funny. I really, really enjoyed it. So Damian Priest and Gunther meeting in the ring. Gunther asks if he could just have the title. Hand it over, I'll save you the embarrassment at SummerSlam. And it was a really great promo. I felt like this was one of Damian's best. Not that it's been bad before. What I wanted to say, he's a great heel. It's not that he's not a good heel. He could probably be a better heel. Again, you have to remember something. It's like Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's the epitome of what I'm trying to say. You'll often look at her in the ring and be like, nothing special. Then she'll do or say something and people are, oh my God, I didn't know she could do that. Cody Rhodes, I didn't know he could talk like that. He used to talk about his mustache with The Rock. Then he goes on to give cinema-like presentation promos. And it's like, didn't know he could do that. I'm sure he could do more. But from what we're actually seeing, I believe that a face a Damian Priest face run or a heel run would work better than Gunther being a face or a heel. I can't see Gunther being a face. You see what I'm saying by that? I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying I can't picture it. I can't picture Cody Rhodes being where he is now, with all due respect, 10, 12 years ago. I just, because I didn't know he had that in him. It's not that I didn't think he was capable. He wasn't given the opportunity to showcase it or platform it. Yeah, to showcase it on the platform of WWE or any other promotion that he's at. So with this here, this was great. This did not feel like a heel talking to a heel. It felt like a face talking to a heel. And the crowd is really behind. People respect him, but again, kayfabe, right? So that's what that is. And again, they are going to face off at SummerSlam. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really excited to see what happens. I just got to make sure that this isn't important. It's probably not that important. No. And so this was just a nice promo. Damian Priest again right after, because Braun Strowman came out. I almost said Braun Breaker. Again, this helped to legitimize, not that he was illegitimate. I feel like I keep having to defend myself here. I just feel like this match, the big Braun Strowman and Damian Priest took him out clean. Again, clean. That built up Damian Priest as a worthy contender to be the champ. Sometimes these little moments could be just enough to do that. Then backstage, Pierce had security to watch over Braun Breaker. They need better security because he said he was going to interfere in the match. He's going to take everybody out. Since the dawn of time, security's always been a joke. In recent memory, now we have refs that are a bit beefier and stuff like that. Not that you need to be beefy, I'm just saying, but for security, you can't be laughable. You can't have somebody like Cody Rhodes, no offense, able to plow through 10 people. If it's Brock Lesnar, sure, because again, that's just more believable. Anyhow, backstage, yeah, Damian Priest versus Braun. Like I said, Damian wins. This made him look strong, naturally handles his business on his own. Right. And then Shayna, Zoe, and all them defeated Caden Carter and Katana Chance. This was a nice match, along with, Sonya at ringside there. Adam Pearce brought out Drew McIntyre. Shakes hands with the fans. Drew, I always mention that because he might be a heel, but is he really a bad guy? To me, it makes a big, big deal. He says what matters is what the WWE Universe says. He never bashes the WWE Universe. Sure, he'll poke fun at the CM Punk chants for obvious reasons. Adam Pearce said that he was going to grant him what he wants. There, this helps if I do that. But Dracula there needed to be apologized to. And basically, Drew's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. They keep screwing me time and time again. You keep screwing me time and time again. So then things went a little wonky. He pushed the refs, and then Seth Rollins came out to sort of even out the score, and then Drew McIntyre left. Now, this was wild, and you can watch it. And if you didn't watch it, you need to watch it. This one really hit a nerve here. So I believe this is the fourth tape, the Wyatt 6 tape. This one was actually delivered to the Pat McAfee show, and then he brought it to the production team at WWE, right? This time it was Eric Rowan. Remember, he was part of the Bludgeon Brothers, part of the Wyatt family with Luke Harper and all that. And what made it easier, I think, for Rowan, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been able to act here. There was no acting here. This was real, raw emotions of a sad storyline that have real-life consequences. Because both Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper are actually dead. Literally half of his family dead to real-life circumstances. So if you're invested in the storyline, if you've been a wrestling fan for a long time, and you were emotionally attached to these real people, then this would have hit a nerve harder than if you're just now getting into the wrestling business kind of thing to watch it. So yeah, this was great. I thought Eric Rowan did fantastic. It was great. Dirty Dom Dom versus Jey Uso. Liv ended up showing up. He's facing her on the apron. He kicks, Dom on top of Liv. Then Liv turns around. Rhea Ripley comes out. And at the end, Jey Uso's all like... It was just... I nearly died, man. It was just really, really cool. Rhea tells Dom backstage, by the way, I'm not yours. You're mine. So that little line right there, not to overlook into things, but it makes me wonder what's going on there. It's a little bit weird. It's only mainly because she's officially a face. She's a baby face. She's not a heel. Okay? Why does she still want Dom around? What's Dom going to turn face to? Like, you can't have the whole Judgment Day just become all... I don't know what's going on there. But so that threw me off. To me, that was a curveball, and I don't think I caught it. I really don't. So Chad Gable called out Bo Dallas, and Bo Dallas actually came out, but then the Creed brothers, Julius and Creed, whatever their names are, individual, the Creed brothers, came out and attacked Bo Dallas repeatedly. And I'm thinking this is going to cause havoc. And you could see him down here, actually. I almost forgot he was down there against her. And he's laughing. And then the Wyatt 6 came out. The lights come out. Everybody's entering the ring. They all scooted out of the ring. It was really, really cool. It was really, really nice. The main event, Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn. It was off to a great match, but Braun Breaker... And again, I don't mean this on a personal level. Scripted storyline, people. I get it. But Braun Breaker. I doubted myself and almost went to say Braun Strowman. Jesus. Braun Breaker ruined the match. He speared Dragunov and then Zayn. I have a feeling this is going to end up like a triple threat match of some sort. I don't know. I'm just saying, because now his opportunity got squandered. I think they should have just left it where Sami Zayn just picks up the win, makes him look, again, even stronger. But by doing this, you're also making it look good. You're making them both equally look good because now he's got a reason for not having won the title. He didn't lose. He lost via disqualification, beyond his control. What's really interesting is I love Braun Breaker. He is so special. He is amazing. And I think that supersedes his heel character because he's a jackass. Kayfabe. So to have the crowd so behind him, ruining, doing all these naughty things to the people we like, is really interesting. Kind of like Rhea Ripley. She's a heel, or was. People have been cheering her forever. I don't think she's ever really been booed. Liv Morgan, I think, was supposed to be a face. She's being booed. It's very interesting to watch the crowd reaction. And I'm not saying it's not well-deserved. Again, Braun Breaker, and I don't say this often, and I'm not saying Dragunov isn't special, but Braun Breaker is a lot more, in my opinion, than just a beefy brute whose real-life father is the dog-faced gremlin. And Rick Steiner. I had to think for a second because my brain, ADHD, it's on overload. And his real-life uncle, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. I didn't have to Google that. I've been following those boys since day one. You probably weren't even around. So anyways, there you have it. 16 minutes, 17 minutes. Okay, that wasn't too bad to break this all down. I wish I could have done it in 10. I probably could have, but I liked emphasizing on the points that I did. Okay, now let's shut up before it becomes a half-hour show. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and trying to make me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and break it off in your ass. See, there's Jay right there. Holla at your boy. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, I get it. It's cool. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. I got to find out where's my thing now to turn off the video. All right. Bye for now. Should have been ending.